Hi everyone, my name is Lindsey Kokenzie and I am the school counselor over at Hurst Hills Elementary. Today I am going to be talking about managing stress before it manages you. Stress is something that all of us deal with at some time or another, especially during these times right now with the pandemic going on in the uncharted territory of COVID-19. But this applies, like I said, to everyday life, okay? Most of us experience stress on a day-to-day basis. And today I just kind of want to talk about some tips to help you lead a balanced life, essentially. So what is stress? All right, it's just how our bodies react to any kind of demand, all right? Unfortunately, it is not a one-size-fits-all concept. How I handle stress and experience stress is not going to be like a coworker of mine or my husband or a family member. Everyone deals with different kind of stress and copes with it differently. The stress-causing situations are called stressors, okay? These can be internal and they can be external. Internal is just that worry, that negative self-talk, putting those unrealistic expectations on yourself, wanting to be perfect, that all or nothing attitude. And then the external stressors that affect us could be major life changes. These are things like losing a job, having a family member in the hospital, pregnancy, things that occur within a household. It could be work, it could be school, relationship difficulties. We all have those relationships in our life that take a little bit more time and effort and energy, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Financial problems, that can be an external stressor in someone's life. Sometimes our children can be a stressor, or any kind of family member. I know probably some of y'all are laughing, thinking, yeah, my children right now, right? Okay, because you have had to become a teacher overnight. Stress actually can be healthy. We all have that one friend, okay, like myself. I work better under stress, right? It's that fight or flight response. I can do this. I'm going to get the job done. It's going to be great. All right. It's the body's way of staying focused, energetic, and alert. However, when stress is not managed, it can lead to those serious health conditions, increased blood pressure, suppressed immune system. Maybe you're getting more colds, greater risk of heart attacks and strokes. And of course, maybe experiencing more mental or emotional health issues. So there's some upsides to stress, and then there's some downfalls to stress, right? But that's why it's important to figure out how to manage your stress. So some of you might be asking yourself, am I stressed? I don't know. Well, looking at the cognitive part of the stress. Am I forgetting things? Am I unable to focus? Am I constantly looking at the negative rather than looking at the positive? Some emotional symptoms. Constant agitation. Okay, you're always in a bad mood. You're overwhelmed. You're feeling isolated, maybe depressed. Stress can be physical. You can have physical symptoms, aches and pains. Like I said earlier, getting sick a lot more. Okay, the common cold just kind of sneaks up. You're just feeling run down. You might have chest pain, rapid heartbeat. You might be nauseous all the time. Some behavioral symptoms. You might be a stress eater. The first thing you do is go for that bag of chips, go for that candy dish, right? Whereas others, they don't touch any of that, right? They have zero appetite. You might be sleeping too much or not enough. You might be isolating yourself. You don't want to see anyone because you're just so stressed. Procrastination, you're so stressed that you just don't know where to start. Okay, so if you're curious, am I really stressed? Most of us know when we're stressed. But if you are fortunate enough to never have experienced stress, these are some of the symptoms that you might look for. All right, so like I said, I'm going to give you some management tips. Am I the expert on managing stress? No. However, I do practice some of these on a regular basis when I am stressed. The first thing you have to do is identify what is stressing you out. Okay, you have to look at your habits and your attitude. Okay, you have to accept the responsibility for how you create and maintain that stress. That's not always easy. One way of doing this is to create a stress journal. And some of you are thinking, who has time for that? It is really helpful because you can pinpoint exactly what it is that stresses you out on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis. Okay, is it something that just creeps in here and there? So what causes your stress? All right. How did you feel physically and emotionally? Okay, because we talked about stress can be physical too. How you acted in response to that stress. What did you do to feel better, if anything? Okay. If nothing, then this is the right presentation for you. Okay. Another tip is to practice the 4 A's of stress management. Avoid, alter, adapt, accept. Avoid unnecessary stress. Okay. There are some things in our life that we can easily say no to. We can avoid the people around us that really stress us out. Okay. We all have that person in our life where we're like, oh my goodness. You just feel yourself tense up anytime you're talking to this person or around this person, right? You have the choice not to be around that person. Maybe not all the time, but when you do, take control of the environment, especially right now with everything going on in the world with COVID-19, turning off the news every night, every other night, taking a break from that. Pare down your to-do list. Maybe there are some things on there that you would like to do, but maybe you just don't have time to get to them. So just kind of see where you can trim it down. Alter the situation. Change the way you look at it. Sometimes you can say, oh, I can't believe I have to do this. Rather than saying, I can't believe I have to do it, say, you know what? I get to do this. There are some things maybe at work that you're like, oh my goodness, I really don't want to do this. But then there's the way you can flip it and you say, you know what? At least I have a job. Thank goodness. I'm so lucky to be able to do this. I don't know. Just somehow alter your perspective on whatever it is. You can change the way you communicate and operate your daily life, right? Be more positive about things. Next, adapt. Okay, you can adapt to the stressor. It's kind of like what I was talking about before, reframing the problem, looking at the bigger picture. Is whatever I'm stressed about going to matter in 10 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 years, in 10 years? Take a step back when you're feeling really stressed and ask yourself, is this really the big deal that I'm making it out to be? Accept the things you can't change. Accept them and move on, right? I got to get this done. I need to do it. For example, it is what it is today, right? I have to accept the fact that we are doing online schooling and I have to help my child, and accept that it might not be done the way a teacher would do it, right? Talking about that math. Okay, some of y'all are thinking, yeah, I'm not teaching that math how my kid's teacher teaches it. Just accept it and move on. There's always next year. Okay, one thing that whenever we get stressed out, we say, you know what, I don't have time for exercise. Well, make time, because exercise releases those endorphins, and those endorphins make you feel good. It also serves as that distraction from your worries. Okay. And whenever I say exercise, it doesn't have to be going to the gym and running on the treadmill for 40 minutes, right? It can be taking a walk, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes. It could be using the stairs rather than the elevator at work. Just make time to exercise whenever possible. That will really help you. Connect to others. Sometimes when we are stressed, we just isolate ourselves and we just don't want to be near anyone, right? That's not good. Even if it's reaching out to a colleague at work, do it. Helping someone by volunteering, lunch or coffee with a friend, a weekly dinner date. Set aside some time to connect and maintain those relationships in your life. Make time for fun and relaxation. Sometimes we get so stressed and feel like, you know what, there's no time for this. I have to do this, and this before I can really let loose and relax. Don't do that, okay? You've heard the saying, you only live once. Make sure that you're doing things that you enjoy. It might not be every day, okay? But make it a point to do something for you, whether it's gardening, whether it is, getting your hair done, or just make time for you. Pretty self-explanatory there. Manage your time, okay? Don't overcommit. If you have a lot of things to do, make sure that you're prioritizing. A lot of times with my students, I'm like, you know what? You're stressed out. Let's do a to-do list. What has to get done first? And just go from there. Break projects into smaller steps. This will help you not feel so overwhelmed. And if you can, delegate responsibility. Hey, you know what? Bobby, you go feed the dog. Susie, you do the dishes, unload the dishes. Delegate, okay? And sometimes you have to be okay with it not being done exactly how you would want it done, but delegate. It will help. Maintain balance with a healthy lifestyle. The first thing you can do is watch what you eat, okay? That diet and sleeping goes a long way. Reducing the amount of caffeine and sugar. A lot of times when we get stressed out, we're often tired, maybe because we didn't sleep enough. So then we load up on caffeine and sugar, and it's this, and then a crash, right? So really watch what you're putting into your body. And then tip number 8, learn to relieve stress in the moment. If you're feeling your shoulders get really tense, maybe you're getting that headache, and you just know that you are very stressed out, find something right then and there that will relieve that stress. A lot of times with my students, if they're feeling overwhelmed and frustrated in that moment, the biggest thing you can do is take that deep breath. You don't realize how big of difference it does. I mean, it works wonders. So find something that works like that to help you. That is all I have for today. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, just need to chat, feel free to email me. But I hope you all have a wonderful day.